Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jack, and tonight we're joined by a very special guest, Sterling J. Brown, aka Bean. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right. Hey, how y'all doing?
I got it. Okay, all right. Breaking the ice a little bit. Sterling is a junior agribusiness major at Southern University in Baton Rouge and a former Peabody student and graduate. Sterling is gearing up for an incredible trip abroad to China and also interning with Cargill this summer. But before we begin to delve into this conversation, I encourage all of you to share this live broadcast and engage with our content. Your support helps us to educate, inform our community on meaningful topics like these. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. How you doing today,
I'm doing
Sterling?
all right.
You notice how I'm stuttering right now, Sterling. I had to make myself say it.
Oh, you fine. That's all good. But yeah, I'm
For
doing all right.
everybody out there, I've been knowing Bean for a minute now. Uh, uh, but so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, one mom. My name is Sterling Brown, and a correction, I'm a senior that attends the illustrious Southern University and A&M College.
Okay.
Look, don't die over there now. Don't die over there. I'm a senior. Yeah, I'm a
You
senior.
must have sped up. What did you do to
Hey,
kick it? Because I started counting back. Did you?
time move fast. Yeah, time move
Man, I
fast.
tell you, it is. So I apologize. Go ahead and tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about yourself, man.
My name is Sterling Brown. I'm a senior agriculture business major who attends the illustrious Southern University and A&M College located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In a few I'll be 21 years old. Attended the Peabody Magnet High School, proud graduate of the class of 2020. And a few things I do at Southern, I grow muscadines and bunch grapes for wine production as well as blueberries. And I raise all types of livestock, whether that be chickens, cows, pigs, you name it. I raise it and harvest it. And I also grow industrial hemp for Southern University as well.
Industrial hemp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So you back in the back there where y'all actually raising the different livestock and agricultural stuff, and then on top of that, you going through the process of actually harvesting. So that means that you guys are going through and
Yeah, raising, harvest, processing, and everything. Yeah,
process
do the whole 9 yards.
the whole line yard
Mhm.
from Peabody. What made? And now I'm gonna go off a little bit. And what that's interesting. At this time, a lot of times, folk, they don't, we don't think about this agricultural thing. But, back in the 12th grade, when you were back at Peabody, what made you decide to major in some aspect of agriculture?
Well, starting off, I didn't originally start off in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started college, I started off actually on the computer science route,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that for about 2 years. And that's something I really didn't want to do, and I was just varying on changing my major, but to what I didn't know. So then I thought about it, and I knew Southern had an ad program, and something I always been interested is food and food systems. So how different food around the world is grown, what systems are used to also grow this food and to transport it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so things I like to eat, and so that just led me to agriculture,
Well,
and it's
that's
something that has been very me.
no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying it's something that's been very good to me, and I don't regret changing my major to it.
No, 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 not. Because a lot of times students start off and as a freshman, and they have an idea of what they really want to go into, and then for all practical purposes, they decide to change, and that's what that whole freshman exploratory stuff is about. To just make sure you're finding the right thing that you wanted to. But you're in the business side of agriculture, so a
Yes,
lot
sir.
you didn't waste a lot of credits or anything like that.
So, luckily for me, the track I was on in computer science pretty much knocked out everything on the back end for my current major.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. Your upcoming trip over to China sounds fascinating. What are some of the key activities and goals for this trip?
Some key goals for this trip for me personally is to one, understand more about Chinese culture as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
as well as learn more about their agriculture practices and how they are similar and how they differ to U.S. agriculture practices, and as
Mm-hmm.
well as learn how their port systems work via trading.
Okay. All right. Now, uh, I've seen a couple of episodes of I think 60 Minutes and some of the others where you have a lot of business people from China buying up tons of American farmland. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, this is something. Well, as far as that goes, that's something I don't really agree with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people from foreign countries buying up on farmland that belongs to the U.S. and
Mm-hmm.
that in part can have a negative effect on farmers here in America as well as consumers as well
Mm-hmm.
of products that come from farms. Because then they dictate the land. Because if they want to lease the land to a farmer, they can charge them as much as they want because they own the land. And I don't think that's right.
Mm, okay. All right. All right. When I was reviewing part of your agenda, part of the agenda was to immerse yourself into the culture of China, and not only all of that serious stuff, logistics and supply chain and all of that kind of stuff. Either those goods being brought over, produced here and transferred to China, or vice versa. But you're gonna get a chance to immerse yourself in the culture. And one of the things that I saw that you guys were going to do is you're going to learn how to make some dumplings and stuff. Tell us a little bit about that. You had to sign up for it
Yeah,
now.
man. You know, we're gonna. Yeah, so hey, that's part of it. Like I said, learn about Chinese culture. So whether it be Chinese practices from a religious standpoint, learn how to cook over there. When I come back, I'll be able to do all kind of things. I mean, dumpling from scratch. Hey, I might even learn some Cantonese while I'm over there. You never know.
You
So that's the
never know.
whole point, though. Going to a place, learn about their culture, and to the U.S. and just taking advantage of that experience.
So,
Just
so
say.
yeah. So tell me this program that you guys are, that you're a part of. Are there other students from Southern that are traveling with you guys as well?
Yes, sir. That's about 8 to 9 of us going students, and that ranges from undergrad and graduate. We also have two chaperones going with us as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Okay. And this is all part of the College of Ag, or is this are there other disciplines that are traveling with you guys as well?
I know for just for SUBR, that's the Baton Rouge campus is all agriculture students, but we do have
Mm-hmm.
other students from Sadler and Suno from the
Mm-hmm.
Suno campuses that are traveling as well as you have a few different universities going as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
it's a
right.
combination of agriculture and different majors as well.
You are interning this summer with Cargill. How has that been so far? Seems like we have lost communication. Did you hear me
Uh,
on the last question?
uh, Say it again. I know you said I'm interning with Cargill.
You are interning with Cargill this summer. What do you hope to gain from that experience this summer? And what have you done thus far? You've been there almost a month, a little over a month now.
So with my internship with Cargill, I'm what's called a grain operations management intern,
Mm-hmm.
in which I am the grains Cargill operations, in which I'm located in Indiana. 1 second, move. I need to move around because the connection kind of unstable. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. If you guys could just hang tight with us, when sometimes when we are remote, it just depends on what type of connection folks have. So if you guys could just bear with us for one quick second, he's going to try to get to a better location at home. Let me see. Some of you guys have some questions over here. Look at Miss Anita Hawkins out here watching. She's listening to us talk to her godson. Uh, and Miss Kathy Powell want to know about this hemp thing going on over here. I'm gonna make sure I throw that question at Bing when he's back over here as well. That Miss Powell.
All right, I'm back. That better now?
Yeah, it's not skipping anymore.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's
sorry
see.
about that. Hey,
I think we
now,
were we were talking about Cargill. What's you're interning there, and what's
mhm.
that been like thus far? What department you're working in, and that kind of good stuff.
Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, recently I started a internship with Cargill, which is one
Hmm.
of the largest agriculture companies in the U.S. and the world, in which I'm an internship based around grain operations, in which I'm a
Hmm.
grain operations management intern.
Hmm.
And I'm located in Linden, Indiana, which is about 20 minutes from West Lafayette, Indiana, where Purdue University is located.
Hmm.
And what I do for my internship, I'm located at a grain handling / distribution facility, in which I handle corn and soybeans, mainly corn, and I handle and distribute corn for ethanol production,
Hmm.
and which the company that I distribute corn to, by the name of Valero. You may know about the gas stations around Alexandria or in Baton Rouge. So
Valero.
yeah, Valero, yeah.
Okay.
And so the agriculture company itself has a ethanol plant that's built right across the street from us,
Hmm.
which they siphon corn from tanks we call shipping bins, in which they're about 150-foot tall concrete bins that house corn, and through several conveyor systems transport corn directly to the plant, and they produce ethanol from that. And some things I've done over the past month is, first, about learning about corn, your different grades of corn. There are about 5 different grades of corn,
Hmm.
ranging for grades for human consumption to what I do for ethanol use, as
Hmm.
well as for animal feed as well. I've been learning how to dump hopper trailers, and those are trailers that farmers use to store grain and
Hmm.
transport grain with. So I've been learning different types of trailers, how to unload them. Yes, it's physical work. I have to manually get a crank and crank open them. It's cool. It's pretty cool when you don't know nothing about it, and it's fun. And I'm learning something different every day. And the main thing I am doing right now, which my internship is a supervisory internship, in which I shadow 3 people. I have two plant supervisors as well as a plant manager,
Hmm.
and I get to see their roles and duties on a day-to-day basis and engage in some things with them, as well as learn the overall operation on how we do our business and why do we do our business here at my plant specifically. As I'm kind of in a unique position where there are only 3 of these plants owned by Cargill,
Hmm.
and I'm lucky to be at one of them. So I really enjoy this, and it's fun.
And I can only imagine it opens your eyes up to so many other possibilities as well, because it's the same thing that you're doing there with corn that's going to end up in ethanol production. Someone else could be dealing with corn as it end up in the Libby's can and all of that kind of
Mhm.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having the ability to flip, because it's such a wide open field, and it's just kind of almost amazing that you just focused in on corn and soybeans, and just look at all of the other disciplines within agriculture itself. Wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow.
It has opened my eyes to a lot of things, because I'm just one aspect of it.
Hmm.
We have crush sites that make cornmeal, that make cornmeal, cornstarch. You think of it with corn, you have other sites that specialize in making those things.
Wow. Oh, wow. With your focus on agribusiness, what are some of the challenges and opportunities you foresee in international trade, especially between the rocky road of the United States and China?
Well, starting off with the opportunity, there are a vast number of opportunities, in which allow the trade between China and the U.S. support millions of jobs, to local U.S. citizens as well as citizens in China as well. So it's a big creator of job opportunities. Now, as far as the challenges, it's a lot of challenges at stake. We're really right now with the rocky relationship between the U.S. and China, with all the recent embargoes and tariffs that have been put in place in the previous presidencies, and so that it has at times negatively affected the U.S. economy as well as a lot of jobs across the United States as a whole. But it's one of those things. It's a really complicated issue, and so it's an up and down thing. Really, all determined on the relationships between both governments. So there are chances that relations could smooth out and create more opportunities and less tariffs and embargoes being placed on both countries that negatively impact both sides of the coin. You
Mm-hmm.
know, or relations can get worse, and as you see, just more trade tariffs and embargoes go down. And like I say, it's a complicated issue. It's a real complex and complicated thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just all varies, you know. Just,
Right. The program you enrolled in at Southern integrates deep business concept with real world applications. How has this prepared you for the international aspects of your career?
this has prepared me in a multitude of ways, ranging from from theoretical trade scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
or seeing, okay, what products we may be trying to trade, and when it comes down, to the buying and selling, as well as the logistic side of it, understanding the importance of knowing where it's going, how you going to where it's going, how you're going to get it there, and what you get in return as well as understanding currencies,
Mm-hmm.
understanding how the U.S. dollar may relate to the Chinese yuan, and okay, is it worth $10? Is it worth $5 per dollar here, per dollar there?
Mm-hmm.
And as well as preparing me as far as being able to sit down and conduct business with people of other cultures and races as well.
Mm-hmm. After your experience abroad, your internship, what after you get back, are you headed back up to Indiana?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
yeah, because I don't finish with my internship up there till August 9th.
Okay, and I'd assume Cargill was, very pro you attending this program as well. They didn't give
Yes.
you no pushback, right?
No, they didn't know. I have to do a report on it for my recruiter and as well as my plant manager, especially with the practices with corn and their different trade policies and trade embargoes as well. As they're interested in there, because Cargill has his hands all over China. They have multiple facilities there, and I know they do operate out of some of their ports.
Mm-hmm.
So they just want to see what I learned, what things I learned, and what skills that I can utilize from there, and what are the similarities and also differences and things that Cargill could use as well.
You're working on, in essence, being in essence, Sterling. Let me get this right. Let's stay professional. In essence, you working on that job offer after this summer is
Yeah,
over.
I
And you,
am. Yeah, but some long term career aspirations for me after my internship is to one, see what other opportunities that Cargill may allocate for me, being in
mm-hmm,
my position with the grain operations and the great job that I've been doing with that, as I was recently recommended for another internship
mm-hmm,
with Cargill, as well as I want to delve into logistics and supply chain, especially me and with my interest in farm agriculture as well as trade and trade policies as well.
mm-hmm.
That's something I really want to get myself into, learning more, especially from domestic trade within the United States and international as well.
Okay. Well, and logistics is a whole nother animal by itself. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and all that plays a major part in this as well.
Absolutely. I want to come back home a little bit, Bing, if you don't mind. And I want to talk. Right now in our community, we have a lot of good stuff going on, but we also have. Let's just keep it real. We have some stuff that's not all that hot that's happening
Mhm.
almost on a day-to-day basis in our hometown. What kind of encouragement can you give other students, that are in high school, given what would you like to say if you had something to say to that graduating senior that's getting ready to graduate from Peabody, in 2025. And the other thing is I want to say is about 2 weeks ago, Peabody is getting an influx of new students over there. And one of the encouraging things that I actually saw was they decided, I don't know what was on Mr. Stewart's. I'm gonna say Dennis, Mr. Stewart, because he was a student of mine, being so go figure. Uh, they decided to have a parent student graduating senior meeting at 5 o'clock on a Friday. And one of the things that was really encouraging about it was the fact that it was on a Friday at 5 o'clock, and it was standing room only in the cafeteria. To see so many parents and so many students really excited about the senior year coming up. What do you have to say to those students uh, about getting ready for graduation and going beyond that next year?
Well, for the students that are preparing to be seniors for next year, something I will tell you is to enjoy it while you can and make the most out of your last year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because for me, I was unfortunately a part of the 2020 class, and that was the COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
So my senior year got cut really short, and I missed out on a lot of memories that were supposed to happen that year. A lot of memories. We supposed to bring home another state championship with powerlifting for boys and girls, as well as we won the championship in basketball that year as well.
Mm-hmm.
But enjoy it while you can, make the most out of it, because when it's gone, all you can do is look back.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're there, like I said, make the most out of your time, and whatever goals and aspirations you have for your future, be sure to plan them out and trust and believe in the good Lord. Keep your head high, stay focused, and you'll see everything through. And whenever life gets tough and you don't know which way to turn, keep God first, pray and trust Him, because you never know what may come your way to get you out of your current situation.
And for the young men and women, um, I know last year we they did a listening tour. Your dad was a part of it, to say, well, and not from a political standpoint or anything like that being, but from the eyes of a 20-year-old, and you can relate to the current conditions very well. But if you had to say something to leadership to say, hey, here are some of the things that are needed here in our community, what would you say?
Well, something that I would say, just coming me being 21, being able to relate to people in my age demographic, something I would say that we do need is, I would say, more community activities for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
One, that's to keep them out the streets and keep them out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up, that there were a few programs, that help students stay out of the streets, such as COPE,
Mm-hmm.
and another one that I did with Miss Keandra Ford, who's now the principal over at Arthur Smith. We had a organization called Blaze, and that's Bold Leaders Accepting Zero Excuses,
Mm-hmm.
in which about every at least 2 weeks out the month we'll get together over at Franklin Hunter Park, and discuss various things going on in the community. It'll be a lot of engaging activities. Just overall, just more activities to do with the youth, whether it be something like Cope or Blaze, groups for groups for these young men and women out here.
Believe it, I agree with you 100%, being, and some of those things are some of the least expensive things that we actually, as a community, could put resources to, and they have such a huge return on that investment. That idea of just giving a young man, young lady, an alternative to find somewhere else positive to go if they can't go home because mom or dad is working or whatever. Just that escape room that allows them to go hang out. And I think you are 100% on point there with that statement. And would you have anything else that you'd like to say before we decide to get out of here?
I just want to say, thank you for having me
Mm-hmm.
and being in agriculture. And it's a wide open field, and it's a lot of opportunity for people of color such as me and you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would advise people, if you don't know if you don't know what you want to do in life, or you want to go to college and you're not sure, look into agriculture, because it's just more than farming. It's not just farming. Agriculture is in every aspect of our life, from the clothes you wear, the food you eat, the car you drive, even the roof over your head. Agriculture plays a part in all that. And it's an interesting field. It's a fun field also. It's
Mm-hmm.
a very fun field. There's a lot of opportunities. For instance, me, I've traveled so many places in the last year. I've been to Atlanta, Chicago, Nashville, Indiana, Indianapolis, specifically West Lafayette, Cincinnati, Minneapolis. Now I'm going to China for 2 weeks because of agriculture. And plus, I'm going about five in the next 4 months. I'm going about 3 to 5 different places just in one semester.
And once.
And it's something that it's a career field that you make the most out of.
Mm-hmm.
The more you put in, the more you get out, and there's always chances for growth, constant growth. A lot of money, a lot of chances to travel and learn a lot about the world as well. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So that's that agriculture, that A&M part of Southern University, and you being a proud ambassador of it out here right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do a lot for the college, and the college does a lot for me.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. That's the yard talking right there, and a lot of people won't understand what we're talking about right now. But that's the yard, and you're coming out.
The Southern, hey, look, just like I got Peabody pride, I got Southern pride, and I got a lot of it.
Yep. Well, I tell you what, Bing, I really appreciate it. I want to thank you for coming on as well, and as from that young person perspective, you could be anywhere this evening, but you decided to come share some of that excitement with you. And although you did leave that IT arena alone and said, hey, I'm going over here to agribusiness, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, and I can utilize that side of it too, though, because ag technology and ag engineering is a big field right now. There's a lot of the systems trying to get caught up with with AI and other technological advances, and so
Well, look,
again,
I have friends of mine that are in the field right now, and the tractors are all automated right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and John Deere is a big leader in that right now. Did the chat have any questions?
Let me go check and see. Other than your godmother all over the place talking, I'm pretty sure she's gonna beat me up for saying that right now. Let's see. Um, just congratulations. We're proud of you. Congratulations. As my nephew, I saw your uncle put that out there. No question. They're just proud of you, being they're glad you're doing what you're doing, man. So all I can say is keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. And I thank you so much again for coming on and showing other young folk here in the community that there are possibilities outside of Alexandria. All you have to do is apply yourself. And Sterling, you are doing that. And so all I can say to you is just to keep on doing that. And no matter what somebody might say, if you need to go wring some chicken necks, go ahead and wring the necks. Or if you need to go slaughter a hog or a cow, right back there at the back of the campus, you go do what you have to do, because I do know, based upon, a couple of friends of mine who came out of the agriculture program,
It pays off.
it definitely,
It
yeah.
pays off, and with me being ag business, so I get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be either in the office doing the actual business work or in the field doing the actual operations. And with me being ag business, I try to diversify myself as much as possible. But the more things I know how to do and the more aspects I touch, the more opportunities there are for me, which especially when you have hands-on experience
Right.
that you can translate to the business field. And that in part helps me because I know what it takes to run an operation. I know
Mm-hmm.
a farmer or operator goes through. I know what it entails. So you don't say, well, in which you don't have that disconnection in the office to the actual operation to working in the field. So I'm more of that bridge. I'm bridging that gap. That's my approach to it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, you're an awesome. Oh, there was one question. Miss Kathy Powell said hemp production. Tell us
Mhm.
about that hemp production before we get out of here. That's going on.
Yeah, so Southern has an industrial hemp program in which we do grow industrial grade hemp here at Southern. In which some things we're going to use the fibers to make a few different things.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
okay.
I know, for instance, some people made toothpicks, some people made bricks out of it because hemp fibers are some of the strongest fibers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have enough, you can create a lot of durable things. I know, for instance, if I'm not mistaken, in your Mercedes and your Bentleys, if I'm not mistaken, they use hemp fibers inside the door paneling.
Okay. All
So
right.
you got a lot of different uses for it.
Okay. Cool. 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 And there again, that kind of technology, that kind of science going on right here in Louisiana, within arm's reach for anybody to get involved in it. That's definitely an awesome thing. Well, I tell you what, I'm having a hard time calling you Sterling Bean.
You can call me Bean. Just call me Bean.
I'm stumbling, brother. Uh, that's all the time. Pretty much this is all the time we have for today. Bean, I definitely want to say thank you so much for sharing this exciting journey with us. And more importantly about this in journey being, starting off as Southern as a, computer science major, and then realizing that I needed to shift direction because this is just not for me. And then deciding to go over into the exciting world of agriculture. Um, it's a testament of you coming from, Alexandria, moving on over to Southern, and then transitioning into something that you're gonna have to live with for the rest of your life. And that's a good example of what our young folk need to see today. That you can start off, you can make a change, and sometimes you might end up making another change. Hell, who knows? You might end up in law school in a little bit, because we're certainly going to need the lawyers out there as well. It is clear, being you have a bright future in front of you, and we can't wait over here at UrbanCast to see all that you accomplish. We also want to thank our followers for tuning in, and our advertising partners, Sadler Towing, Long's Preferred Products, National Tire and Auto, and Math Makes Sense for making this show possible. Remember to keep engaging with our content and share it to help spread knowledge and inspiration. Until the next time, keep striving and stay hopeful. Being, again, I definitely want to thank you again for joining us this Sunday.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, if you can hang tight, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live.
Yes, sir. And thank y'all for watching and listening.
All right. When you come back, and you got something to tell, come. I want to know. I want you to come on the show and do a cooking demo on how to make them dumplings and stuff. Tell you.
Yeah, I'll try.
You'll
And I'll be
try,
sure to
huh?
send pictures.
I'm gonna definitely make sure I let Melissa and Sterling know that we're gonna hold you to that. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mhm.